It is week 2 of the Colorado Buffalo season, and I need to see some better things in week 2. I saw some okay things in week 1, but week 2, I need to see some better things because Colorado is better than Delaware. I watched Delaware play a little bit just to kind of double check and make sure that they were better than them, and Colorado will have better talent. Colorado should be better. They should have better coaching, all those different things. So I better see a different Colorado team this week. I want to see a Colorado team that is prepared. I want to see a Colorado team where the coaches are going to be disciplined. And I want to see a Colorado team that is just a better team. I want to see Colorado look better than Delaware because they are better than Delaware. This will be the game that Colorado has to establish an identity. I don't know what that identity is, but I think they need to establish it. So whatever that is going to look like, I am looking for Colorado to establish an identity this week. If they do not establish an identity against a team like Delaware, I'm going to be concerned as the season moves on. However, I have seen this Colorado team do some good things. I need to see more good things this week, and there's a couple of things that I really am going to pay attention to because I think they will be important when you play lesser competition. Because when you play lesser competition, you should be able to see certain things that when you play light competition, you can't really see. So I'm looking for those things to stand out against this Delaware team, and I'm looking for the Colorado coaches to act like they want to be there and make adjustments if they need to make adjustments. I don't want to have to get into a situation where the issue with this Colorado Buffaloes team is actually the coaching staff. I need the Colorado coaching staff to be better in this game. I need them to be more consistent in this game, and I need them to make adjustments if they need to make adjustments. Colorado is just better than Delaware. That's just what it is. That's just what it should be, honestly. That doesn't mean that this Delaware team couldn't present some challenges if Colorado is not ready to play. The first example of that will be this Delaware quarterback will run the football. He had a rushing touchdown in the first game, and I will be honest and say I watched about a quarter and a half, and I couldn't even watch any more of the football game because I wasn't interested. Mainly because the football, in my opinion, there were other games on and other things I wanted to see. I'm just calling out, though, they do have a quarterback that will run the football. That is going to be very important for Colorado to note that they have a guy at quarterback who will run the football. I'm not saying this quarterback should present any challenges for Colorado per se. However, historically, Colorado struggles with quarterbacks who will get out of the pocket. They will struggle with teams who have mobile quarterbacks that are a little bit more dynamic. And I think it's because our linebackers aren't ready to go. However, I'll leave that where it's at. But knowing my opponent, the one thing I will point out is Delaware's quarterback has the potential to run the football. Do I expect him to be like Georgia Tech's quarterback? Absolutely not. But I'm calling it out because as we're watching these games and as you watch your team, you have to pay attention to what the opponent is doing. If you don't pay attention to what the opponent is doing, then you don't know how to assess your football team. So that is something that I'm going to pay very close attention to in this game is how does Colorado's run defense look like against this quarterback if he starts scrambling? One of the keys to this game for this Colorado Buffaloes team is going to be stopping the run, stopping the run, stopping the run, stopping the run. Period. Full stop. Stopping the run. Stopping the run is on the agenda for this Colorado football team because if they are not able to stop the run against Delaware, we're going to have a lot bigger issues. I need Colorado to be able to stop the run consistently against Delaware. I don't think there will be an issue, but if there is an issue with Colorado stopping the run, we're going to have a bigger problem as we head into the season. So stopping the run, stopping the run, stopping the run. The second thing I think is going to be a key in this game is watching Caden Salters play against a Delaware team. Caden Salters, in my opinion, looked a little restless in this first game. I thought he got happy feet, and I didn't think he used his legs enough. So I'm very curious to see what we see in Caden Salters in week 2. Week 1 is week 1. It's over. It's done with. I hope he's watching that film. I hope he can develop, and I hope he can do some things differently in week 2 that we didn't see him do in week 1. If he is able to do that, I think that is great. So I'm going to be paying attention to, obviously, the obvious. Can Colorado stop the run? And when I say stop the run, I don't want to see over 150 yards. I am giving them 50 yards, honestly, because they should be kept under 100 yards. But I don't want to see this running back or any rushing yards over 150 rushing yards. And I need to see Caden Salters play better and use his legs more and be a dynamic quarterback. I really need to see that. And another key to this game is going to be when we see Juju Lewis, because I think the earlier we see Juju Lewis, as far as the team is playing well, I think it's going to look better for this Colorado Buffaloes team. I am looking to see a lot of backups. That is my expectation of this game. And if I don't see that, I'm telling you right now, I am going to be very pissed off, very frustrated, and very annoyed with this Colorado football team if they do not dominate this Delaware team. I will be honest and say that the X factor to me is going to be these linebackers. I don't know what these linebackers are going to do this game. A raindrop just hit my glasses. I don't know what these linebackers are going to do. I don't really trust the linebackers. I wasn't impressed by the linebacker play. I don't know if it's me or what Georgia Tech was doing, or if they were confused, or if they're not very good, or I don't know. Maybe I'm being really hard on them. I just didn't see many things the linebackers did against Georgia Tech that impressed me. And so they're going to be the X factors in this game, because usually when you have scrambling quarterbacks and things happening, it is going to come down to those linebackers being able to make plays. And something about this Colorado defense just didn't impress me against Georgia Tech. And maybe it's because they got the ball ran all over them, and so that is not very impressive. However, I am going to be paying attention to these linebackers. I think these linebackers are going to be the X factor, and I want to see what they do against lesser competition, because if they don't look better than with lesser competition, it is totally not a me thing. It is totally these linebackers, and I'm going to be paying attention to that throughout this whole football game. At the end of the day, I need to see how Colorado bounces back. I need to see what they do after that loss. I need to see better clock management. I need to see these coaches be better. For those of you that watched my reaction video, you will know that I was actually more pissed off at the coaching staff than I was some of these players. And mainly because I thought in some levels this coaching staff let down the players at the end of the game. And I don't feel like this coaching staff really made adjustments. I thought Colorado's game plan in the second half was actually worse than the first half. And so I am going to be paying attention to these adjustments and to see what happens with this coaching staff. Because my thing is you can't talk about how great your coaching staff is and all these great experiences and all these yellow jackets, gold jackets, and all these things with this coaching staff. And then you get in games and your coaching staff becomes the reason why you lose games. Now, I'm not saying they're the only reason why Colorado lost against Georgia Tech, but not making any adjustments was an interesting choice for me. I can't get over the clock management at the end of that football game. That is going to probably haunt me until they do something better. And so this coaching staff, in my opinion, is on the clock. I am paying very close attention to this coaching staff. I'm paying very close attention to these linebackers. Those are two things that I saw that really worried me. And so I'm going to be paying attention to them, because against lesser competition, they should do better. The other thing I don't know if it will come up in this game is I need to see these receivers get more involved into the football game. I felt like the receivers were like the missing link against Georgia Tech, and maybe it was because of Caden Salters, and maybe we didn't know what he was going to do. I don't know, but something about the lack of wide receiver play was interesting to me. I don't know if there's not a good rotation. I don't know if the wide receiver rotation is confusing. I don't know if it's Caden Salters that is making it that way. Something about this wide receiver rotation I didn't love. So again, when you're playing lesser competition, I know a lot of people will say there is nothing we can figure out about our team when we're playing lesser competition. I don't believe that to be true, because when you're playing lesser competition, there's a couple of things you need to see. You want your team to look better than that lesser competition. So that's the first thing you can learn is, does my team look better than that competition because we're supposed to be better? Number one. The other thing you can kind of tell is how much a coach actually trusts their players, because they will open up different things for them and you'll see different dynamics, and you'll see some of the things that they've been working on in practice. And so for me, watching your team play lesser competition is actually interesting, because you get to see a little bit of nuance and you get to see things that you might not see, but you get to kind of you get to see them work through things. And that's why I'm excited. And for me, situational coaching for this team is needed. And so I hope that Delaware can put Colorado into situations where the coaches have to make decisions and figure things out, because I will be honest with you, I was not very impressed with the game plan for Colorado in game one. I wasn't impressed with the game plan after the halftime for Colorado, and we all know how that game ended, and I'll just leave it where it's at. So they have to be able to stop the run, full stop. They need to look better than Delaware. And listen, at the end of the day, these are the games that you want after a loss, so that you can go out there and fix some things and tweak some things, and I expect Colorado to look better. If they don't look better, you will see me back here whining. I can promise you that. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video.